Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to another day here on the farm in Farming Simulator 19, here on the Estancia Lapacho map. Just doing a bit of maintenance work on the Fent, getting that back in tip-top shape. Before we proceed with another fun-filled day of farming activities here on the farm. Now, a couple of things are in motion at the moment. I have got a helper out fertilising our he's finished fertilising. Good. Park him out of the way in a minute then. Take this, move it. We've got the sprayer out there. He's out there doing that field, but unfortunately weeds have taken over at my field. So once he's finished putting down the second stage of fertilisation, I'm going to need him to come back and get some herbicide and go and kill the weeds. Because yeah, weeds are a problem on that field, which is a big field. I do not want to lose yield because of weeds on that field. Now, since the last video that went live, I have actually partaked and passed a couple of days of farming, which explains why my bank balance is looking a lot healthier than it did at the end of the last episode, because I've done a few harvests, sold a few crops, just generally done a little bit of work, because obviously I want to try and get things moving on a bit in the series. For a long time now we've been talking about animals and getting animals placed on the farm and start doing some animal husbandry and stuff, you know, sheep, cows, that sort of stuff. Sheep, chickens, all that jazz, you know, all that rigmarole. Right, you could stay there because you're not going to be, you can't, I haven't got I need a sprayer, that's the only problem, and the sprayer is, I believe, in use. Yes, he is. And my helper is currently putting down the second stage of fertilisation on this big field, but then I need to run round, get him unloaded, get him reloaded with some herbicide, get him back out here to kill these weeds. And the minute I've got basically fields 1 and 2 sowed with soybeans, field 3 and the big field here sowed with canola. That's the only crops I'm growing at the moment. Having a bit of a push on those. But we're going to get into animals, aren't we? I said. And to do that, we're going to need some animal pens for a start. So we need to buy those. And start with a large chicken coop. Now, chickens don't require too much space. And I don't know how best to arrange this really. I want an area at the back here, obviously, where I can run down behind arms. Then basically, I think plenty of room around it, so we're not going to bump into it with any equipment. Do I just want to rotate it a little bit more? Bugger it, we'll place it, we'll do it. What's that done to the ground? Put lumpy bumpy bits in, or was it just the shadows? I think it was just the shadows. I thought it done like lumpy bumpy bits. And we've got, so it's, yeah, it's just the shadows of the gate making it look like it was lumpy. Right, that's one pen. Right, next pen, we want a large sheep. Ooh. Cool. Large sheep. I want to rotate it in such a way. Again, it's not. Why? Too close to the chickens. At the same time, I want to make sure we can get to all the pick-up points, the refill points, and it's not going to be in the way when we do. Hey, I'm happy with that. That's all our money spent. 180,000 on constructing a sheep pen. We haven't even bought the animals yet. That's going to be an expense. Definitely going to have to do some harvesting. Next crop sales are going to pay for the animals. So that's the food. That's where we put the grass for the sheep. That's where we put the water. I'm going to need a water tank and a tanker. But there we go. We're starting to get some stuff placed. And yeah, animals are coming to the farm. What else is occurring? I mentioned in the last video I'd done some modifications using the fancy new terrain tools. We've also got a massive big new seeder for the big bird, although it is kind of contributing to issues like I've got over on the big field because it doesn't fertilise that seeder. So I have to fertilise the field twice to get the full fertilisation stages, both fertilisation stages, and then I've got to kill the weeds. So this is my field 1, which I've expanded. I've come this way. You may have noticed it used to be that basically the field started, the edge of the field was here and ran up there. But I've now added all this extra space to the field, and I was going to go a bit further. I was going to get even further out, but there were trees here and stumps which were kind of in the way. I have removed the stumps, but obviously I had already re-rolled all this. I can expand it later on, but I kind of don't want to chop this one tree down because I like this tree. It's a bit of a nice tree. The little palm tree back here I might lose, quite happily get rid of, which might make things a bit more interesting. Again, I could then bring the field all the way out to here, give me more yield off field 1, and it would set it up nicely for when I can later merge it with field 8, because that's something I'm planning, possibly to merge 1 into 8, and 7, 8, 1 as a huge field. I did recontour all this. Do have to unfortunately get rid of the weeds. That's not all that good, but I've made this field a bit bigger. Again, I brought the field back towards the path on this edge, the top edge, and that side edge over there. So that makes that field a little bit bigger. So we should get a little bit more crop off that one as well. What else? Reshape this field a little bit. I think I brought it out a bit more. I brought it out a bit more this way. Down this side, I've made it a bit more this way. Makes it a little bit closer to field 29, which is a bit of a problem. But it does, like I say, give me that little bit more of a yield. I've brought it all the way down here, made it nice and wide, put an extra bit of path around the outside and smoothed and levelled this area off. It's a bit bland at the minute, this area, because I've been terraforming it, trying to smooth it out and remove all the rubbish that's on it. Got to come round with a chainsaw and remove these fake palm trees, these fake bushes, and then obviously cut down all these to get some wood. And then what I plan to do on here is probably get my like cow pen, get a cow pen here in this area right here. And then the rest of the field, once I've stripped that of trees, I'm just going to plough it and just sow grass on it and just have it as a massive grass field to get plenty of food for the cows. So I've brought this field back this way a fraction because we gained a bit more land over here when we were terraforming, and because we've smoothed everything out, there's not the big drop off, there's not the big cliff that the tractors fall down now, so I was able to get a bit more land back that way. And I may have taken in a little bit off this edge just to give me a little bit more room down here, but that's about it at the moment. So like I say, we've got the pens in place for the animals, but we need to get some crops. I'm accidentally fertilising the other farmer's field. That's wasting a lot of fertiliser. Seriously, mate, you couldn't have found a better way to have fertilised that bit? Like maybe go all the way to the top of the field and come back down with your boom on that edge, so you're actually sticking more into my field than mateys. Some of the work at AI in this new patch 1.2 update, some of the thing AI has been improved, some of the AI hasn't been improved, some of it may have actually gotten worse, if that was possible. I don't know how you make the robot workers even worse than they were to start with, but some of them on doing some of the jobs are. You've completed your task. I would prefer it if you went all the way to the edge of my field. I'm going to fertilise this grass as well. I don't think fertilising the grass does anything. Right. Oh, I'm stuck on the tree. So I need to go and unload him now. Very quickly. And we need to get him repurposed with herbicide to come back and attack the weeds before we get any more growth on that field. Because if the crops get too long, we won't be able to do anything about the weeds. Like I say, I don't really want to lose yield, but that problem has come about because of the fact I've bought a great big seeder to make things easier for me turning that field round and getting it into production because of the size of it. I've got a big plough. I think I mentioned that in the last video, that blue one in the shed over there that you can just see. That's my big plough. That's for the Big Bud. The Big Bud's the only tractor I've got that can pull that thing. And that has like I think a 15 metre or 16 metre working width. So it makes pretty much short work of the fields. However, I don't yet have a big cultivator. I need to invest in a big cultivator as well, because I've only got the little Amazon still. Right, unload that. That gives me just over 2 pallets of fert. Herbicide. So yeah, I got the big seeder, but I didn't realise when I bought it, I didn't pay attention, should I say, properly, when I bought it. Oh, I've run out of money. I have run out of money. Okay, that's going to mean that I can't hire a worker to spray the field. I'm going to have to spray this my bloody self now, aren't I? Oh. I have got some crops stored in the silos. I'm not completely no, brassic yet, so I have got some crops in reserve that I could use. To improve my financial situ. Must make sure I get that edge. Don't let me weeder wander off course. Right. Not the best view in the world. Keeping things straight. Hey ho, what can we do? Kill the weeds. Thing was, I did weed this field. I weeded this field after I cultivated it, because the weeds popped up as I was cultivating it. So I can't believe they've come back again during the same pretty much cycle. How are we doing over yonder? Right. All right. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame that the weeds pop back up again so quick. Interesting thing I have noticed. Why am I folding that? Probably because I was going to hit the tree. So yeah, definitely need to do this. Where are you going? Make sure we have got a bit of an overlap. Just a case of trying to drive in as straighter line as I can drive. But yeah, back to the weeds. I don't know what, my brain just went completely off on a tangent there. I was thinking something else, trying to say something else. I swear it's this blooming virus I've got, this cold and flu thing. Scatterbrained. But the weeds. I notice the weeds don't grow on field 14 anymore. The one that I've got sowed with grass. We never get weeds on field 14. Don't ask me why. I do not know. I actually positioned my little Fiat, my little mechanical weeder, down there on that field because I was watching the crops grow as they come down this field as I was cultivating. Then the infested fields, obviously 3, 2, 1. And then I thought, well, next step in its path of mayhem will be field 14, my grass field. But the weeds never grow on that field anymore. I don't know whether that's something the Giants have fixed or changed in the latest patch 1.2. They have changed some things, like you no longer get crop destruction on grass fields, apparently. You no longer destroy grass by driving over it. So you don't have to worry about destroying your grass fields with tractors, and you can obviously make grass pathways around your farm and not worry about destroying the grass when you're driving your vehicles around. So whether that's had something to do, also change the way the weeds work on grass fields, I don't know. But certainly, since the patch has been out, I've not done anything to field 14 in regards to weeds. I've not had to mechanical weed, I've not had to spray herbicide. So, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what to say. If we don't get weeds growing on grass fields, happy days. Back her up. I've got room to turn around with my gizmo. I'm probably doing a worse job than the AI at this. But I can't afford to hire a worker because I've spent all my money on 2 animal pens that don't have animals in at the minute. Oh dear. Oh no. Field's grown. That's cause for concern. Quite honest. Now I can't tell where I've sprayed. I can hire I'm going to hire a worker. I know it's going to put me more in debt, but I can't see where the weeds are. I seem to have been going at a wobbly angle. That much. Everything else is, well, apart from that bit back there, which hasn't been fully fertilised to stage 2. I've got to remember, if I'm using the big seeder, the big new super duper seeder, hasn't sprayed right to the edge of the field. Great. The big bud, and our, as I say, our big super duper seeder, which is the one over here. Awesome bit of kit, definitely speeds up replanting fields, but as I say, it doesn't have a fertilise function, which means I need, after ploughing or cultivating, I'm going to have to give it a pass over with this thing. Put down some solid dirt. Now, another thing I was going to do was put the stump cutter back on the old Valtra. Now I've tuned up the Valtra and repaired it. Because we may be in for a bit of a wait on the old harvesting. Forgive me for that horrible cough, and then obviously the horrible chewing and swallowing of the phlegm that came up with it. Ugh. Oh, that's interesting. Finance-wise, of course, because I'm bank loaned up to the tune of 225,000, a loan repayment, the bank loan repayment or the interest rate might just oh boy. So I need to run round this area, find all the little tree stumps, because they're hiding. Unfortunately, there's no easy way get rid of the stupid fake trees. Giants buried in the map. These things sticking up out of the ground here. Don't think you can cut or grind them, stump grind them. Oh, you can. Okay, that just makes this job a little bit easier. Because I can basically just drive around. That'll get rid of all of these. That's one way of doing it. Oh, it's amazing the things I learn. I was having to muck about with a chainsaw for long enough on this, on my Twitch save, on the Twitch stream I did a while back, because of these blooming stumps, these fake trees. Now I know I can just take them out with the stump grinder. I don't have to bugger about with the chainsaw. That makes that a lot easier. Somewhere over here there's a stump as well, if I remember right. Wrong way. Boom. Is that the only one? Probably the only stump. I know I cut down a couple of trees in this area, didn't I? Oh no, there it is. I see. Boom. You know, I got a couple of trees in this area. Stumps. There was another one, obviously, where I cut down the tree for here. My diesel tank is now, but because of the Fantastic Place Anywhere mod on PC, I didn't have to worry about that. Nor do I think I have to worry about the that were from the trees down here, because I think they've probably been terraformed out of existence at this point, with me reshaping the land and stuff, so very useful. Anyway, learned something new. I can stump grind those stupid little fake bushes that giants put on the map. That's going to save me a lot of time off camera to run around and do those. It's not going to, however, save me the time of having to chop down and log up those big palm trees. They take some work. And the fact that I've only got the little, well, my pickup truck to put the logs into, and the fact that I can only pick up very little amounts of wood means I don't get a lot. I'm not profitable. I could, if I had a proper log trailer and maybe a way of picking the trees up in their full state, I would be I would be able to make a lot more money. I imagine I should get a lot more money for logs than I have been getting. I've been getting about 4,000 for a tree, or at least a pickup load of tree. Full pickup trailer gives me 4 grand's worth of wood, but obviously I've got a feeling if I had a proper trailer and was able to put, you know, decent lengths of those trees on there, even just putting them on a whole. Now once I've cut them off at the base, if I had a trailer big enough just to be able to pick the tree up and put it on, I reckon I would get a lot of money for those trees, because they're good wood, them palm trees. Good wood. Might as well use the herbicide up now I've paid for it. I don't really want to unload 700 litres, do I? Not a lot of point unloading 700 litres of herbicide. I haven't done any contract work since the last video, so I haven't yet reached the achievement for 100 contracts on a single save. I think I'm at 96 at the minute, so I'm 4 contracts away. So we will get that done at some point, but I'm starting to get to the stage where I think once I've got animals in place, I probably won't be doing as much contract work. I should, because I'm just going to be too... Oh, flipping hell. He's missed all the bloody top of the field too. And he's cost me £150 in wages for a job he hasn't done properly. But I suppose I need to use the 565 litres of herbicide now, coming down this edge of this field. Oh, stupid AI workers. Morons. Meant to try me. You're taking these people out of their favelas, taking them off the streets, and this is how they reward me and repay me, by doing a substandard job. Please don't break the crops. They shouldn't do. Narrow skinny tyres. And right, I'm going to lift this up because we don't bend the crop. Jacked up nice and high. Spray him, and like I say, we'll just then run along, kill all the weeds before we harvest. So hopefully get a good bit of yield out of this field, these 2 crops. Hopefully give us enough to make quite a bit of money, a bit of moolah. Yeah, I'd like to get out of debt. I'd like to get the bank loan repaid. So I'm not having to fork out interest payments every night. Then get me animals, chickens, I was almost going to make the old red dwarf joke then. Get a cow and a sheep and breed horses. You remember that joke from Red Dwarf? Anybody watch Red Dwarf? British comedy from the 80s, 90s. They tried to bring it back a few years ago, but it wasn't the same. Yeah, Red Dwarf. That old joke, Lister. Gonna go to, what is it, Fiji? Was it Fiji? Planet Fiji or Fuji or Fishal or something like that. You've got a plan that he planned. You're gonna have a cow and a sheep and breed horses. It's my plan. Like, yeah, he didn't realise that half the planet was, you know, most of the planet was underwater. So the sheep would have drowned. Strange the things that come to your mind midway through a game. Well, I've got 255 bits of left. I'm going to give it a quick jet wash. Looking a bit mucky. Tempted just to take it and run round field 14 with it, even though I don't need to because there's no weeds on field 14. It would just get it emptied, wouldn't it? I don't really want to be emptying 255 litres into a pallet. Because until now, I haven't had to use this as a spray. Well, apart from when I've done actual proper spraying jobs, I've not had to use this as an actual, you know, herbicide sprayer. Because I've been able to keep on top of the weed situation using the mechanical weeder. The mechanical weeder's been doing a grand old job. On, spray. Just going to use it up. We're ready for mowing yet. Looks like the grass could grow a bit further, and you can go away, cat. Now, don't you start climbing all over my computer and stuff, otherwise you'll get a slap. Yeah, you know I'm being serious, don't you? Might be able to mess around those others. You can't mess around me. I don't tolerate it. Starts climbing on stuff, she gets a backhander. There's a good old English expression as well for you. Backhander. Yeah, go away, cat. No one likes you. You're not as good as useful as the dogs. The dogs are nice. Cat, she's evil. One of them Bengal things, and never known a cat with a temperament like one of them. They are like psychos. They are like, they will try to murder you as a human. They will attack you for no reason, just because they think it's funny. Let's go pick up my 2 pallets. Waste. Back in the old tank. Ready for when we next need it. That was poor. There we go. And starting to get the implements you may have noticed into this shed here. And positioned in such a way that we can actually get round them easy enough. Different machines. And if you're wondering why the ground flickers here, why that flickers, it's the Z fighting, because obviously I've got two sheds placed, so there's actually two columns and two of those plates occupying that same space, so they flicker a little bit. I don't know if anyone noticed as well, but I've repainted the stayer. It used to be orange and purple. It's now purple and orange. And I got rid of the ridiculous twin rear wheels. So that's another change I made since you probably last were here in the last video. So what we're doing, we are currently in a position whereby I believe we are waiting. Yeah, we're waiting, unfortunately, for harvesting. Although, field 14 is now ready to be mowed. Now the big question is, do I do hay again? Do I do grass? Do I do a mixture? Do I do half the field, mow the whole lot, and then ted half the field only? Get hay? Nah. We've got some. We can put some more hay in the silo, because I think it was I got 100,000 litres, didn't I, last time I mowed it, and the rest I sold. I don't know if we've got any grass in the silo, have we? $11,388. Yeah. Gonna need a bit more grass to feed the sheep. Trying to think how best to do it. I don't know whether to use the stayer. I haven't used it for a while. Get that on the mower. Get the loading wagon on the back and just literally mow and pick up as I go. Could be one way of doing it. Save me doing multiple passes. Let me have a think. I'll be back to you in a few moments. I'm going to probably jump away and cut back once I've done it. Okay, so I've mowed field 14, and I did half and half it. So I did half of it as grass, half of it as hay, and we've got that stored. I've now used the big bud and our big plough to enlarge the field a little bit, just a little bit. And I'm going to get it limed, cultivated, fertilised, and then replanted with grass to hopefully ensure that in future get a bit more of a bigger yield out of the field, so we can get even more grass out of it. I mean, we did well this time round. Most definitely. Sit there. I need you. You haven't been used today. Get the old lime on it now. I also mowed around in front of the shed and around the animal pens. So picked up round there, I've mowed in front of here, a bit of mowing around by the fuel tank, generally picking up as much grass as I could get. I got like 64,000 litres of grass, and then I got go 64,000 litres of grass, and I got about the same in hay as well. So not bad, not bad. Just put it straight into the loft. I haven't sold any of it. Like I say, I've going to cultivate next, and then fertilise to obviously get the first stage, and I can bring the big sowing machine, big bud back down here with the sowing machine and get grass planted on it ever so quick. And then it's just a case then of obviously watching out for weeds. I might bring the culti plough down just to fix a couple of the edges where the plough went a little bit long, a little bit deep. But apart from that, we're doing very well. Like I say, we're just waiting for the crops to grow now. Bit of a shame. Of course, I'm using this tractor for this, which means I can't have the cultivator following behind. He can pull the cultivator, the Fent can't pull the cultivator. Our little worker. We can pay workers even though we've got no money. And we're in debt. We're in the red. We're nearly bankrupt. That's why I'm kind of doing this in real time to try and make sure I don't spend a fortune. Nicely planted with lime. And then I say we'll get the cultivator on it. Then we'll get some fertiliser spread. Then we'll get it seeded, and then once it starts to grow, we'll get it sprayed, some more fertiliser to get a good yield, and hopefully we should get some more grass stroke hay off it next time. Like I say, roughly 120,000 litres is what I got when I added up the two, the hay and the grass quantity. So that's not bad going. 120,000 litres is not a bad yield. Definitely not. And I think something else that I'm going to have to put in place pretty soon will be the silo. So I can start making some silage. And then we possibly want to be thinking about baling as well, maybe. Again, I showed you in an earlier episode where I plan to put the silos for doing like silage. Haven't got into chaff yet either, so I think I'd need a what was it, forest harvester for that? Forest wagon? Forage harvester? Not a forest harvester, what am I, a forest? It's like trees. No, a forage harvester would be needed to harvest chaff. Basically plant a load of maize and then go and gobble it up with that. Done. Right, you are completed. You did that really, really quickly. Very impressed, Mr. Helped G. Get this back, park it up, and then we'll switch over to the cultivator. Orange is the cedar. Driving up that wall. Green one. Cultivator. Dum dum. So yeah, I'll carry on doing this, and hopefully next episode we'll get to harvest our fields, which will enable us to correct our financial situation. Then from there, should be able to buy some animals and start filling the animal pens, which would be nice. So for now, thank you everyone for watching the video. I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope you're liking the series so far. It is going to continue for quite a while yet, definitely. I am loving this game. So please, if you have enjoyed the video, remember to click that like button, and feel free to share the video wherever you want to. And don't forget to leave any comments, questions, suggestions, feedback, anything like that at all in the comment section down below this video. And if you're not already doing so, remember to smash that subscribe button, as it really helps me out and helps my channel to grow. Thank you very much. Goodbye.